December 10th, 2017, 4:37 p.m. I had fallen down a rabbit hole of the Orion High Council, and I kept going and kept going, and something in me wanted to meditate, and I wanted to ascend, and I wanted to see things, and I wanted to learn more. I went out to the kitchen and I got my mugwort, and I brought it into my room as I was watching channelers on YouTube. I wet the mugwort and I put it on my pineal gland, and I also took a pinch of it and put it in my pillowcase. What I'm going to read to you now is immediate recognition from when I came back into my physical body after my meditation. Forgive me, I scratched it down pretty quickly, so I might have trouble reading my own handwriting, even though I just wrote it down like a minute ago. Okay. I'm going to preface this with... No, I'll save that for later. Never mind, I'm going to keep reading it. Okay, it starts. I was trying to ascend. I listened to binaural beats, and I kept falling, nervous, to leap, my eyes closed. Oh, nervous to keep my eyes closed. I kept feeling nervous to keep my eyes closed. Sorry. Finally, I envisioned Nana, Pap, Snowball, and Rose around me. These are all people and beings that have passed away that were very close to me. Snowball, who was my dog when I was younger. Snowball calmly lied to the right of my bed. Him laying down meant there was no danger. Pap, Nana, and Rose kept telling me they wouldn't let anything hurt me. I was able to keep my eyes closed. And also to preface that, I should have prefaced that, I've always been afraid to keep my eyes closed for a long duration of time, and it was always been very hard for me to sleep. For that very reason, I've just always been afraid of what was going on outside of my eyes when my eyes were closed. Anyway, I was able to keep my eyes closed. My blue avian friend manifested to the bottom left of my bed, and he assured me everything was alright. Now, my blue avian friend. I had watched a video when I first started getting into aliens and extraterrestrials and the different races, and I had no idea there were different races. One of the first races I came across in the YouTube video was the blue avian race. And almost immediately when I started seeing the pictures, I manifested the memory in my head of a blue avian friend who was a very old friend of mine. And I saw his death right in front of me, where he was shot, or I don't know, something hit him. I'm gonna guess it was like a gun. Something shot him in the abdomen, and he went to his knees and then fell onto his face. And I remember my friend dying in front of me. Okay, back to the reading. My blue avian friend manifested to the bottom left of my bed, and assured me everything was alright. Cryon's voice guided me, and Abraham Hicks comforted me. Those are two of the channelers I listen to a lot. Not as much Abraham Hicks, but my mom listens to Esther. I listen to Cryon. Cryon said, "Go. Why are you afraid of another life force? Another being? Because they look different than you? Because I'm always afraid of beings that look like the Greys or the tall browns, the stereotypical E.T. with the big black eyes that you can't see into and you can't see intent." And then my blue avian friend said to me, "It's like when you were afraid of falling out of the trampoline if you jumped too high." And I didn't even remember that was a fear that I had when I was younger. But I do remember it. I would jump too high and I'd get too scared because I didn't want to get hurt. I didn't want to fall out of the trampoline. Continuing on the reading, I found myself on a trampoline on my bed. My blue avian friend was delighted, and Cryon kept shouting, "Go, go, go. What are you waiting for? Go." I jumped higher and higher. I was afraid, but my blue avian friend was happy. I know I had to go now, or I never would. I'm not going to interrupt my reading anymore. I'm just going to continue reading because I want to keep this short. I took a leap of faith and I leapt. I became like a rocket ship. At first I had the pain behind my eyes and my forehead that I remember as a child when I would squeeze my eyes shut. I was always afraid I would pass out or hurt my vision, so I'd stop once it hurt. I felt my physical body perpetuate upwards as my astral self flew through the cosmos. Stars flew by me. I kept going up, up, up. I kept saying to myself, "Go, go, go." I was afraid, but my eyes stopped hurting. I passed the physical barrier. I found myself not pushing so much now, and now I was calm and relaxed, and I was just flying without trying too hard. Once I relaxed, my blue avian friend was there. We flashed to his ship, then to the hospital in my dream. Okay, so I have to pause here. I had a dream where I was out at the beach with my dad, and once I left, I had to go back to work, and my vision started becoming less and less, and I had figured at first it was just because the sun from the beach that was blinding me a little bit, and I just had to regain my vision. But then I started realizing more and more that I was becoming blind, and that I couldn't keep my eyes open, and I was afraid and I was scared. So I went to the hospital, and this hospital was this ethereal beachside, very, very, very bright hospital, I guess, and it was very futuristic. And I was laying in the bed, and I remember getting out of the bed and not knowing where I was or who was around me. And I remember going out to the door to my room, and it was like these Jetson doors that once I stepped on the pad, it opened. It made that sound like, and I walked right through it. And then I started walking down this glass corridor that overlooked the ocean, and I'm guessing it wasn't really the ocean, it was more of like a beach, but there was like a, what's that called? Courtyard. There was like a courtyard, I guess it was in the middle of the hospital, because I remember coming down then and going out of another door, another choof, walked through another choof. I walked down, and I remember going to this pergola outside the main entrance of the hospital and asking somebody for help. But I remember being very panicked because I could not see. Anyway, it was that last part was a reference to that dream. Okay, Blue Avian friend was there. Going back to the reading. We flashed to his ship, then to the hospital in my dream. Quote, "My friend, you are..." Oh, okay, sorry. This next quote is from my blue avian friend. He said, regarding my dream, "My friend, you were never blind. You just couldn't see." I remembered him dying in my flashback when I first learned of the race in a video. I heard Cryon again in my head. "Why are you afraid of them?" I saw my friend die. A tall brown killed my friend. I said, "You killed my friend." He killed my friend. But not me. No, not me. In a very powerful way. Well, I said that in a very powerful way. That I felt a flutter in my chest and warm in my belly, like how I feel when I feel violent tendencies. I probably had killed him afterwards. I found this memory as I catapulted through the Akashic records. in my own mind, whether it was the actual Akashic records or not, or if it was just what I perceived them to be, or if what I perceived them to be is actually the Akashic records. That's very meta, and I can't really understand it right now. Anyway, at this point, I was hovering in space. Then there's a conversation between my blue avian friend and me, and I start saying, "What can I do?" And my blue avian friend says, "Everything, my friend. You can do everything, and that's why you're here." And then I said, "What is your name? I haven't learned your name." And then he began, it began getting fuzzy. And he began to speak, but I was losing connection. I opened my eyes in my physical body and I closed them to return, but I was already back in my body. And I remember I was laying in bed then and I was like crying and I was saying, I'm sorry, because I felt like they had so much more to tell me, but like, I don't know what. I don't know if it was like the notification on my phone that brought me back. But anyway, continuing the reading. Once I came back to my physical body, that's a fragmented sentence, my apologies. I need to learn my old friend's name and how we met and what our time together consisted of. And then I started to draw my friend. I'm still feeling very light and very airy, but that was that outer body experience, projection. I'm not even sure exactly what it's called. I'm still very, very, very early in my meditative and ascension process. I'm just learning all of these things, but that is my message for today.